video we will discussing about the difference between exist and not exist clause for MySQL or SQL queries. Let's say we have a question, departments where all employees have salaries above 5,000. So we will be testing the result in HR schema, which is a test schema provided with Oracle database. So we have written two queries, one using exist clause and another with not exist clause. When we read a query, it says select D dot department name from departments D, where exist select E dot department ID from employee, where E dot department ID is equal to D dot department ID and E dot salary greater than 5,000. So based on our question, we want the department ID where all employees have salaries above 5,000. So it might seems okay with this query as well. We are combining the table where department ID equal and then checking whether the salary greater than 5,000. Similarly, when we look for not exist query, we have done the reverse. So we have used a not exist clause. We are doing the same thing, combining the department ID equaling the department ID, and then instead of greater than we have used less or equal to 5,000. So you might think that both would give the correct result, but there are vast difference between how exist are used and not exist query clause are used in SQL query. If we go through the result, let's say we will run the exist clause query, we will get 10 department name. When we run the not exist query, we will get 23 department name. So it means there must be one query which is not right according to our question. So in order to discuss this, we need to understand the core difference between the exist and not exist. So first exist. What exist does is, if it finds any salary, any employee salary within a department that is greater than 5,000, it whitelist that department ID or department name to be displayed. So let's say we have a department where there are 5 employees. Let's say 3 employees or 4 employees have salary less than 5,000. But there is one employee whose salary is more than 5,000. So this exist query list that department as well. But our question doesn't imply that. Our question implies that all employees within that department should have salary greater than 5,000. But in not exist query, when we use not exist, what it does is, if any salary of an employee within a department is less than 5,000, let's say, let's take an example there. Let's say we have a department ID and their employee salary within that department. So first in exist query, it checks for this. We have greater than 5,000 condition here. So it checks for first rows. It fails. It checks for second rows. It fails. It checks for third rows. It passes the test. So it, let's say it creates a list of department ID, and let's say it has added one in that list. Similarly for department 2, it fails. This second row also fails, so it doesn't list here. And in department 3, first row pass, second row pass, third row pass, but it doesn't matter. Even if one row passes, it just whitelists that department. Let's say 3. So now what it does is, it lists these two departments as those departments which have all employee salary greater than 5,000, which is not the case. And not exist, what it does is, checks for salary less than or equal to 5,000. So it is less or equal to 5,000. It is also less or equal to 5,000. This is not, but though it two are less or equal to 5,000, it whitelist 1. Similarly, it is less or equal to 5,000, it is less or equal to 5,000. So it whitelist 2. This not less or equal to 5,000, not less or equal to 5,000, not less or equal to 5,000. So it does not whitelist 3. So it finds those departments which not exist, meaning except 1 and 2 it finds the remaining departments, that is department 3, and which is actually the right answer for our question. So in this case, if we have to test a condition where we need to match every row with that condition, we will use not exist. But let's say we need a list of department where even if one employee have salary greater than 5,000, then we will use exist. In discrete mathematics or discrete system, we have also learned where to use for all quotation notation and there exist notation. In there exist, what we have read is for all there exist one such that one is this. Similarly, for all condition notation, there everything should be, every result should be satisfied. But in there exist, even if one condition is satisfied, it is okay. So that is the basic difference between the exist clause and not exist clause. Though it seems both queries seems same thing, but they have completely different tasks to perform.